Super.
There we go.
There we go. Привіт, добрий день, hello, bonjour. 24th of February 2024. We are many today gathered together, a bit from all over the world, almost, or part of the world. Many of you are in Ukraine, some are in Germany, in England, in France, in Switzerland. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been 2 years, and it's a bit of a weird thing to celebrate an anniversary of a war. But actually, it's also been 2 years that all of you invited today on this Dance with Ukraine special flash mob have been very active in the field of the performing arts. And this is a very special vision on how to respond to an aggression. And many of you have spent the second year traveling to different places in Ukraine, close to the front line, in cities whether that have been liberated, deoccupied, or that are still under heavy shellings. I'm thinking of Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Kherson, Mykolaiv, Odessa. And so there we go with my first question that would actually go to the non-Ukrainian guy who lives now in Ukraine, Benjamin. Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Can you just tell us in a few words just your background, like when did you arrive in Ukraine, and what have you been doing since?
I'm from Ohio. I'm a folk musician. Before I moved to Ukraine, I was working as a contractor, a builder for most of my adult life, but was a musician in that time. And the story of me being connected to Ukraine is kind of long. It's connected to the project called Slavalacha, which some of you will have heard of and danced to apparently on this call before. But once the full-scale invasion started, I was connected with friends in Ukraine and was watching them, making Molotov cocktails and doing other radical, acts of defense and self-reliance and survival. And so was motivated to help start fundraising in Ohio with my bandmate, Brett Hill, whose musical moniker is Brother Hill. And we raised a little over $100,000 in the first year of the war. That was all going to tactical medicine, which we were bringing. And then on these trips, I was just becoming more and more enmeshed in the folk music scene in Ukraine and folk dancing a little bit, but mostly I'm a musician. And the folk singing was really kind of capturing me. And so I realized each time I was going back to the US, I was kind of more and more depressed to not be in the country. So I finally found a job in Kyiv and moved here. And part of the work I do as a volunteer here is every few months we go to the front lines and play for soldiers. And our concerts are not really advertised, obviously. It's kind of a word of mouth thing for security reasons. But I guess that's maybe seemingly the most important work I'm doing at this point. And I think it's been interesting. I mean, I'm here because I think folk music has more power here than it does in a lot of places right now, because the folk music is a big part of the culture of Ukraine coming back into its power. And I feel like I'm intuitively aware of the power of folk music wherever we are in the world, but here it has this special kind of currency where when people, some of the soldiers we were playing for around Christmas time this year had never even seen a bandura or heard someone play a bandura in real life, and this is a traditional Ukrainian folk instrument. And one of my bandmates for this tour, Anastasia Wojtuk, her Instagram profile is Bandura Girl, and she was playing this instrument. And to see the soldiers' reactions to this, most Ukrainian type of music, and I think it kind of helps them realize why they're doing it, because a lot of them have been there now for close to 2 years and feel a bit forgotten, and they don't expect to survive the war, and they are on their grind just like we all are, except their grind is, several many layers, like darker and deeper and more depressing. And so I really have seen, it's incredibly rewarding for me to go and perform for them and sing with them and just hang out with them and be a little piece of the rest of the world for them. I don't know how much it like necessarily is saving their mental health, but I think it's a little piece, it's a little glimmer of sunlight for them in all this. So that's one perspective. There's other things I could share, but I know there's a lot of people. So
yeah, each topic I'd like to dive for so much longer, but it's so interesting. And it makes me want to bounce on the experience that maybe Taya can share. Because you just shared with us, Benjamin, the reaction of the soldiers to folk music. And I would be very curious to ask Taya the reaction of the audience in cities like Kharkiv, or do I miss it? No, you were in Odessa, right? And
we were in Odessa region, yeah.
Thank
you. I work in a Dach theater with Dach Trio project, which is some kind of music theater project. And we were touring around Ukraine. And we went to Kharkiv a few times. This is the city on the east, which is, I think, 50 kilometers or something away from Russian border. Maybe I'm not correct with the numbers, but it's really quite near. And it's heavily shelled. And when we were there, it was also shelled. But the audience is really hungry for a good cultural performances. They're really, really seeking to hear, to come. They're really open-hearted, welcoming, and we were really happy to see that. It was a pleasure to perform there, and we always got treated like really wanted, team. And even though we had to perform underground, we had to deal, with the safety measures, but people really want to see culture. People really want to experience all these art moments, and that brings us an understanding that art is really important, and art is that brings hope to all of us. I can prove it myself as well. Yeah, and in Odessa region, it was the same, even though we performed in quite small towns and cities, and our audience was really, really thankful. Yeah, and I think that we need to continue doing that, despite of all the shellings, all others. I don't know how to call of that, but I mean all of this military things. We need to continue doing our thing, our work. People hope that it will end soon and that we can win in the future. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm kind of bouncing from one answer to another, from one person to another. So yeah, you speak about hope and you speak about performing arts having like being a real option for victory. And this makes me want to bounce to Dmitro and Catherine and Olya, who are together in a city which I will try to pronounce, Verkhovina. Verkhovina, is that correct?
Верховина.
Verkhovina.
Верховина.
And this is in the western side of Ukraine?
Yes.
So my question to you is, you have been giving acting workshops, what pops out of what needs are expressed in these workshops? What are the benefits of going to that kind of workshop during wartime in a country on war? And I just want to say, you can answer also in Ukrainian if you're more comfortable and someone can translate.
Okay, I will try to start. When the war is started, I feel that my work doesn't matter for another person, because all Ukraine. Коли почалася війна, відчувалося, що моя робота не потрібна.
Would anyone translate for us?
I can translate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When the war started, I thought that my work wasn't needed.
І коли йшов на перший тренінг, який був запланований вже під час війни,
And when I was going to my first workshop, which was planned at the beginning, when the war already started,
дуже переживав, як це відгукнеться у людей.
I was really worried how people would react to this.
Але людям було потрібно вивільнити свою енергію.
But people really had the need to somewhere their energy out.
І під час цього тренінгу люди і сміялися, і плакали.
And while this workshop was held, people were crying and laughing at the same time.
І зараз, сьогодні, на цьому тренінгу, він, по-перше, благодійний.
And today's workshop will be charity workshop.
І це можливість побути разом і нагадати собі важливість дослухатися до свого серця і свого тіла.
And it's really important to be together and to listen to our heart and to останнє слово?
Серце і тіло.
To listen to our body and our heart.
Yeah.
So it's the benefits of keeping on having your body involved in moving, in singing, in diving in all of this as a tool for health. Mm-hmm. Super, thank you. Tool for health, Anya. You are someone who is a multiple artist. You also dance a lot. You are a photographer, and you have been volunteering in Chernihiv in rebuilding destroyed buildings. So a lot of things that involve movement, body, breathing. What would you like to share about this experience of it?
It was actually really interesting because on the first weeks of the full scale of an invasion, I wasn't like I couldn't move, like I couldn't dance and all stuff. But I found that I could, and I want to play piano because I play piano, and it was really healing. But like before, I played piano like few years ago, and that's all. And I didn't want to play, but when the war has started, it was the first and the only thing I could do because I don't know. I couldn't move my body because I think there was a lot of stress inside it. And when I danced for the first time, it was, I think, in April or maybe even May, like around this. It was so painful. I didn't know that it would be so painful. But after that, it was really a tool to to express these feelings through my body and to make something physically, and it will be like something really helpful and not like maybe healing a little bit, but mostly to express the stress, because if you're not moving, the stress is inside and you can't like process it fast. And with the body, it's really faster. And like with all this volunteering work and all stuff, it's it's helping. And now, like for example, when I'm stressed, I can't just like sit and like do nothing. I need to move, to go somewhere for a walk, for a long walk, or for something like this. So yeah, it was weirdly surprising for me to not feel that on the first weeks of the full-scale invasion, but but now I can say that this is the tool and it's really important, and I don't know how to process all of this without like dancing or going to the gym or something like this, so that connects to the body. So yeah.
And this experience that we actually made together in Chernihiv of rebuilding destroyed buildings was accompanied by electro music.
Yeah.
And this is something very special. How was it for you to be working, rebuilding by having this beat of electro music with it?
Well, it was really nice. It was something that helped, because like in silence it would have been like harder to make some physical work. And if something is really I don't know how to say that right, move you from the outside, like the music, it's easier. And also like all the people are dancing and working at the same time. It's really nice to feel that, and it's not feeling hard in this moment. So music is really important in this part of the work in progress.
And music and beat makes me want to bounce on Glip, tap dancer from Vinica. This tap dancing is very much connecting to heartbeat and to strength of the earth, from what I suppose from the few times that I did some tap dancing. How or what could you share about this approach of rhythm of sound during wartime, where you also have other kind of sounds that are very oppressive and aggressive? So how does, maybe there's nothing that changed, but maybe something changed in your approach of tap dancing?
First of all, I must apologize for my English. Second of all, Anton, you have a great garden and great flowers. It's perfect. And third, I'm not only tap dancer, I'm a contemporary dancer and art manager. So when war come for my home, come for my country, we of course provide a lot of time to host people who ran away from the war. Sometimes it was around 20 people per night in my home. And I think how can I help for people who lose their house, run from their house, and stay in my apartment. So we start to make some yoga, meditation, self-massage, and also something about body, how to find a home inside the body, not building, and how to keep mind inside your way to light. So I start to provide some workshops for refugees, and after we with my art group start to make some projects and going to Marseille, to France, to talk about war, and we make workshops, and we make some performance in Marseille, and make some exhibition with Ukrainian artists to try to explain what happened. Because first of all, we fighting for the culture. First of all, we it's not about freedom, it's freedom in mind. And it's very important to keep culture and keep art in our border. So after I understand that it's not enough just performing, it's not enough just to keep in balance people. And we decided to open an art space to give a chance for young artists, local artists from Vinnytsia. It's not big city, it's a small town, to discover their art, to show their art to each other, because we must understand each other, understand our souls moves, our body moves, our mind moves. It's the way to build a future for our culture, because Ukraine, it's actually big country, and we are different, east different from the west, north from the south. This winter we come to south, to Mykolaiv, to show Vertep. It's traditional theater acting with theological parts, for try to explain how we feel our Ukrainian culture to different part of country. And it was really hard journey, because it was a lot attack in this period. It was starting of January, and in Vinnytsia it was more safety in that period, and we show our acting, and every day, almost every few hours, we heard how to fly in rockets, how to fly in I forget, drones, and people try to damage it, but people still make the habits, stay on the bus stops, go to the shops. We going to make some acting with costumes, and it was really weird. It's like circus, how it can be. About tap dance, what to say? I cannot explain how to feel rhythm right now, because every rhythms in Ukrainian smashed. We inside the mess. So rhythms so close to, it can be like jazz, but anyway, it's not about this light feeling of jazz. when you have metronome and can play. No, it's not about this. It's about, I don't know, every second it's breakbeat inside mind, inside heart. So now I keep away from tap dancing. I just try to provide culture things and provide a way for young artists to give them their voice, something like that.
Thank you so much. Oh, you're still here? Yeah. Yeah, okay. This is so enriching. Thank you for all these sharings. I would like to have you all give a word, except if you don't want. So I just, before we move out of Ukraine, for Mariana and Maria, who are ambassadors today abroad, I would like to ask Catherine and Olya, according to everything we just shared about the need of bringing our bodies in movement, the difficulty of finding a coherent rhythm, what, in your experience, what would you like to share? Maybe something when you were teaching, or some inner need that you felt, or some exercise or release that you use when you are anxious. Is there anything from all this topic that you would like to share with us? Metro, you can switch on your microphone. Yeah? So for you, yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand the question. Can you
It's
repeat?
just that Olya and Catherine would like to share something around this topic of body and rhythm and experience they have made.
Okay. Olya must to go to the children. Yeah, because the children is come to another space, and we will start our workshop soon. About movement.
Yeah, of course, there is no argue that movement is extremely important now, and it doesn't depend whether you are an adult or a child. So today we're working with children, and for another training, I know that Dmitro will work with adults. So everybody needs this movement, and when we experience this practice, we can kind of mix what we feel, what we want to feel, and what else can we see? As for me, it's quite important, and it's pleasure to work with Dmitro. Yeah, and I also don't know what else to say.
For me, movement, it's about our soul, what we really feel. And it's not about really emotion, it's about your roots, about your roots, what you feel really. Movement, it's give experience to find the answer how I'm feeling now and here. It's a method to connect with yourself and with this space and with energy. That's for me.
So it's a tool for presence, and it's an answer to aggression.
Yeah, and when you do something, when you start to move, it's really, sometimes it's hard to start to move. But when you started to do this, you feel energy. And for me, I catch myself on one thoughts when I arrived Lviv in bicycle, and I feel happy because I can do this on bicycle. I can ride, and I feel happy. And when I feel these feelings, I remember about the war. Can you feel happy till the war don't end? And for me, it's all time I think about this. Can you feel the happiness when somebody must shoot another person? But for me, we must to create this space of safety for body, for soul, and make people be in touch with themselves.
And with happiness.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Super. I would like just to take like maybe a few more minutes. Mariana, is it easy for you to allow yourself to be happy these days? How do you manage to go through these waves of emotions?
Hi, everyone. It's a good question because you caught me right in the state of how do I feel, because now I'm under the safe sky, and there is sun here, and it is so beautiful outside, and I don't feel happy, but I feel safe, and it's very important. I think happiness is also very much connected to releasing the stress. You can't feel happy when you're stressed and you're contracted. So for me, being in a business trip, like for the last few days and working a lot and having this 42-hour drive to Slovenia, and it was quite stressful thing and exhausting. So I think I need to spend this day just releasing the stress. So, but I really want to share the moment when my dad and my brother was basically following me to the train, and I shot this small video of them running, like when the train started and they were running, and I recorded them. And this is something that is really really touching for me, because it is so rare that you can really be feeling this like your child. You still can do mistakes, you still can feel fear, and those moments when you can feel this kind of ability, and you have like the situation allows you to feel this is something the more precious that you can feel in Ukraine for me.
Thank you.
So yeah, I don't want to say that we don't feel happy. We do. It's just a different kind of perspective. We feel happy when we reach our relatives after the shelling. We feel happy when we see another plane crushed, the Russian plane crushed, so it will not send the missile. And we are happy. We are really happy to be alive. It's just in a very different way manifests itself. And I think after these 2 years and plus 8 years of the war, it's I don't know. I feel like many people stop waiting for the peace fight, for the war to end, because when you wait for this to end, it's a kind of very exhausting thing, because you're always constantly disappointing. But when you kind of find your place and find this leverage that you can do for this for peace to come, for victory to come, for the war to end, I think this change is also change our perspective of happiness.
Like a constant research.
Yeah, totally. It's a process. Happiness is also a practice and a process.
Thank you. That's so inspiring. Maria, about happiness being abroad in Hamburg. Anything you would like to share, or maybe with the other topics we talked about before? And we'll just go through your testimony. And if Oksana can also speak, I don't know about the microphone of Oksana. And after that, we will dive in the present moment of dance with a band that has a wonderful name, Love and Joy. But Maria first.
Talking about happiness, I have to say that I arrived to Germany 2 years ago, almost exactly, like in April 2022. And since that time, I have to say that I don't feel happy when I'm abroad. Of course, I had a lot of great moments here and perfect experiences. I mean, like perfect, you know. But I haven't felt happiness here. And at the same time, I was traveling to Ukraine many times during these 2 years, and I only felt happy when I was at home in Ukraine. And yeah, I would really agree on what Mariana said, that we are in a process of reinventing our happiness in a way, I would say. And yeah, so actually in 1 month, I'm coming back to Ukraine because I realized that it's a place I belong to. I knew it before, but now with this experience that I had with 2 years living abroad, I realized it completely. Yeah, and I know that at least at this period of life, I can only feel happy when I'm at home. And yeah, also it is connected to the research I make for my master's thesis. And I'm making research on culture in Ukraine during the war, and especially on the example of so-called Yas culture, like rave culture as well. So it is also like I also make research on movement and music and dance. Yeah, so it was really inspiring for me what you all said today. I also made some notes for my future work. Yeah, and I also have to say maybe one insight I would like to share is about movement and dance. I really love dance and dancing, and also that is the reason I make research on raves, because I feel it's also a tool to express yourself, a tool to connect with what is happening around you. And from my personal experience, what I felt that I visited some dancing events here in Hamburg as well, in the first half a year of a full scale, since the full scale invasion began, and I couldn't dance there. It is like really common thing for me to dance when I'm visiting the parties or some other kind of events, and I felt that I couldn't do that anymore. And also then I came to Ukraine in summer 2022 for a month or two, and I went to some festival on Nizhny Yurkivska. Maybe some of you are familiar with that. And it was a festival happening there. And what I noticed, it was a big difference. People, not a lot of people were dancing on a dancing event, like on a kind of a party. And that was the point when I realized I want to make research on that. Because when I was coming back to Ukraine again next times during all this time, I was also discovering some differences that were happening on how people express themselves on a dance floor or on music events. And it was really changing a lot. And this summer, 1 year after I realized that people are dancing that they never used to before, that's what I noticed this summer in Ukraine. So yeah, I think it means that it also changes all the time, as well as the situation in general changes. And I also find movement as a tool to express what you feel and to relieve stress and to connect to other people when you're dancing in a group. So yeah, it was kind of connected to what you were talking about today and to what I noticed from my personal experience and also what I do for my research.
That is wonderful. Beautiful. Congratulations. And thank you for these words, this sharing. Yes, dance. It's the very first thing that we've done on the 24th of February 2022. And just a regular daily meeting in order not to forget and to be connected through movement, through music, through breathing. And Carol has the battery off. Okay, so she says, love above you all. Oksana says she has no microphone, but she also says that she writes, you are all doing the great job. Thanks for this. And so just before we dive really in opening our bodies, our breathing, our rhythm, our movement for one song, us here outside of Ukraine, is there anything someone would like to share? I know that Carol had to go. Judith wrote previously, I think she had to go as well. She wrote flowers and hearts for all of you. Anyone, Thomas, Ruth, Anton, Gul, who would like to share something before we dive into our daily dance?
Just one quick word to say thank you for joining us today. And it's always very moving and inspiring to hear you talk about your life and reality. And yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you very much.
And Madeleine, I'm actually still on the call. I just can't put the.
Super.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think every time we connect or I connect, and you give us the opportunity to share words with your friends from Ukraine who are in and outside the country, I think we all tend to say the same thing. And even after 2 years, it hasn't changed. Maybe now we're even more impressed than we already were before by your resilience and how you managed to go on with your lives despite the very hard reality and the even harder, I think, fact linked even harder thing that the future is still not certain. Or from what we're hearing, this depending on the analysts you're reading about, there's clearly no one opinion as to where all of this will lead. So hearing you and seeing you and hearing about you and how you are going on and not losing hope and are able to cope with all of this in your daily lives is has been very, very, very impressive for 2 years now. So we keeping you in our hearts and thinking of you all.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for sharing to each and every one of you. Honestly, I'm grateful for being a part of this little session, to send our love, our prayers, and what the gentleman said about building a home inside of your body struck a chord deeply within me. If you can do that, which is a very difficult thing, build your own homes inside of yourselves, and keep doing what you're doing in the way that you're doing. I say bravo to each and every one of you, and hoping for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I thank you as well to see you again, and to see that you are happy, you are plenty of energy. We learn from you, and we stay, we try to keep on with you. All the best and good luck.
Yeah, we learn from you. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you. Thank you for your eyes and your heart, your words. We really must to go,
Yes.
but I really want to show you the children who come to us. So I turn. Ми вже до вас ідемо. Привіт, привіт. Добрий день. Нас, заблюрення. Можете помахати руками?
You know, the background is blurry, so we don't see.
Yeah, I know. I don't. Добрий день.
День, привіт.
Я не вмію перемикати з блюрення. Ось, просто хочу, щоб ваші обличчя аж на Францію показалися, щоб скрізь вас було і видно, і чути. Ось. We will start, so thank you, and we will dance for you.
Super. Thank you, Dmitro. Hugs to all the kids and all of you. And we will also dance. Anton, is there something you want to say, or we dive in the dance?
Anthony,
Yeah, Thomas, tu peux lui mettre reconnecter l'audio, s'il te plaît?
Has to unmute.
I don't know if you heard me.
Yes. Yes. Now we hear you.
Now we do.
You hear me? And
yes.
I also I can see me on the big picture, but not on the little pictures. I'm away. I don't know if you can see me.
We see you. Hear you.
Okay. In this case, thank you very much for all those information from people really lives in the Ukraine. We are here. But I think we are not able to realize the reality of your situation. But think about that. We are always with you, and we will help you as we can. Thank you very much, and all the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was a beautiful share. Let's close it with a dance for those who feel like bringing the bodies in movement, whether it's just a little body part like the neck or the full body. And we'll close it this way, except if someone needs to say something more. No?
Well, I just want to say thank you for not being, I don't know this word. Yeah, forgot. Okay, like for caring and for supporting. It's really important and it's really nice. Thank you.
It's the least we can do. Let's dance.
Dance. Yeah. And so we choose a few days ago a band called Love and Joy, as Madeleine told you. 3 people from Kiev from this band, and they are very active on supporting the front line and supporting the fighters. They created funds, they created like tons of things. They are really supporting the cause. And the song we're gonna dance on today is called Half Home, and it's also the name of the album that was released 3 days after the full-scale invasion. So it's a very strong message released out there, and their music aesthetic is rooted in the 70s, in the British pop rock from the 70s. It's a very jolly and very full of energy rock and music, and it's known worldwide for its quality.
Thank you, Thomas.
So it's like between 3 and 4 minutes. Shall I rename? I think we should keep our names today.
Let's go like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Enjoy the dance, and remember, dancing can also just be witnessing if you prefer to witness the dance.
Now I need to mute all of you, but I don't know how to do it.
We can do it ourselves.
If you can do it yourselves, that would be amazing. I can do it. I can do it. I found the way.
It's a green light, you always cheer.
Woo! Thank you, дуже дякую. Thank you so much, everyone.
Дякую вам.
Have a гарного дня.
Навзаєм.
Навзаєм. До побачення всім. Thank you, Madeline.
Thank you, Madeline.
Such a great pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you very much.
Be safe.
So happy to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madeleine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Dance with Ukraine. Thank you to all of you.
Nice to meet you all.
Bye for now.
My friend Kokovi, who joined us, just wrote, thanks for your comments and touching sharing. Your resilience is so inspiring. She wrote on the chat.
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
Брати та сестри, ми переможемо. Дякую вам.
Bye.
Bye for now.